Hi everyone. Thanks for joining in this video update. We thought we would send you a live update this time instead of just words on a page. So we can just pretend that we're having coffee together and we're telling you a little bit about what's happening in our life right now here in Malawi and what work we're up to. So I'll just start sharing a little bit about where I work at Partners in Hope, which is the health center that I work at. So I spend 2 to 3 days a week, long days, working on the patient ward and also helping some of the leadership with different policy and procedure development and orientation guides and education for the staff. So some examples of that is we have patient attendants here in Malawi that aren't trained in any sort of formal way. They're trained at each hospital site. And so I've been helping to develop just an orientation guide so that we have a uniform way of training new staff. I'm also working on trying to gather resources together to make it a little bit better how we care for kids in our context. We don't see as many kids at our health center, but we're seeing more and more. And some of the staff are a little bit unaccustomed to taking care of kids. And so I'm working on gathering resources together and putting that in a way that is easy for them to access. And recently we had the WHO come to our site actually, and after the latest COVID spike, they're trying to just be in a better place in case we get another spike of COVID here. And so I've been working with the staff on how to integrate some of the things that they were taught through the WHO about how to provide better oxygen support and other things that we can do to support COVID patients better in our context. So those are how I spent 2 to 3 days a week. And then I also homeschool the kids 2 days a week as well. And yeah, that's what I've kind of been up to at the hospital lately.
Yeah, I also at this point have been spending a couple days a week working at Partners in Hope, working with the IT team and with the operations, the administration team. I've been doing kind of a consulting report to look across the whole organization at what some of the IT needs are and provide some recommendations on how they can improve things going forward. On the other days, I also help with homeschooling the kids, but also have been starting to move into pioneering a new area of ministry for SIM here in Malawi, which is working with businesses. We really feel that this is a strategic area, both for helping Malawians practically through providing employment, but also spiritually, just helping people think through how do I incorporate my faith into my work. So I've been starting by working with a few businesses. One is called Tide Rise, and it's a really cool company led by a few Christian people from Canada who were doing data entry outsourcing with a previous company to India and thought, I wonder if we could do that to Malawi. And so their heart is to provide employment for Malawians, and so they have an office not too far from where we are and have Western companies that are outsourcing work to the team here in Malawi. And I've had the opportunity to work with them a number of times and be able to help improve their capacity to be able to serve the companies that they're serving. I've also been doing a little bit of sort of volunteer small business consulting with a few small businesses that have just an awesome heart to employ Malawians and run good quality businesses. So it's just been really fun to be able to work with some of these small business leaders.
Yeah, Jason's hope is really, well, our hope is really to work with different business leaders here in the city, and there's a lot of them, and we've met many of them even through our church, and to network them together, to actually connect some Christian business leaders together, to empower them to really see their workplace as a place where God has called them as their mission field, and to really equip them with skills that they're maybe missing. So it's been fun to see Jason use some of his Masters of Business skills and his tech skills to just sort of come alongside and fill in some gaps and help them to make better decisions for their business, but also just to connect them to each other. And so in the next number of months, we're hoping to really network a lot of these Christian leaders together with our church. Actually, our pastor's really given us permission to kind of walk that out too, to just sort of equip them and challenge them and inspire them and empower them to really see that as the mission field that God's called them to. Mm-hmm. And as for the kids, in our last update, we mentioned that we might be moving, which we're not anymore. So we are staying here in the house that we're in, and the kids are largely doing okay. Still homeschooling for another month and making decisions about homeschooling in the future. And a few of them have been able to do a little bit of sports, which has just been so good for them. Really life-giving after having so much social isolation this last year. Yeah, and we have a teacher working with us a few days a week that's helping out with the kids, which has been really great. Although a bit of a transition, I think, especially for the younger ones who've just been with us so much over the last year and a half, had a lot of mom and dad time, so it's a bit hard to transition to having somebody else look after them. But otherwise, we are starting a new growth group at our church and plugging in different ways that way and leading worship again, which is how we met 17 years ago, was actually through worship leading. And so it's really fun to be able to participate in the life of the church that way. Yeah, that's kind of our daily life. It's a little bit hectic sometimes. Transition, he's homeschooling, I'm working, like we're back and forth and sharing a lot of roles, but it's been really a good season for us, actually.
Yeah, and Shannon's been also finding spaces to write in that too, using the amazing ability to communicate that God's given her, and continuing to work on developing and promoting the book that she's written, and working towards publishing and sharing articles with people, and just using her gift in writing to be able to minister to people in various places. And also very exciting, Shannon just got accepted to a Masters of Nursing program for Nurse Practitioner. And so we'll be working on that remotely online from here in Malawi over the next while. And so we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
We just wanted to end off by thanking all of you so much. We just really appreciate your support of us and your prayers for us. We are so incredibly grateful for the amazing team that we have that is supporting us, and love the way that you're part of what God's doing here in Malawi. So thank you so much.
And just a note, if you scroll down below, you'll see a new list of prayer requests, just especially if you can be praying for our team here in Malawi. There's a lot of shifting and changing, and there's been a lot of difficult things that our team here has been facing, and there's a lot of team members that are, there's some that are leaving, and there's some other issues that are happening. So just please pray for the team. It's been really challenging, so just pray for that. That'd be great. Thanks.